As children, we grew up wanting to see our favorite storybook animals in real life. I always thought seeing elephants and giraffes in the flesh would change my entire world, but seeing them up close made me realize how miserable they really were. Some time goes by, and the year 2016 brings to light what I've always subconsciously hated. Despite being the year of creepy clown sightings and pure political insanity, we cannot ignore the incident that turned a rare lowland gorilla into an infamous internet meme. 17-year-old Harambe was shot and killed when a young boy fell in his enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo. All of the hype around who was at fault clouded the real question at hand. Why was Harambe the gorilla held captive in a zoo in the first place? Due to the captivity of animals in zoos, animals of all kinds, including gorillas like Harambe, are subjected to cruel, inhumane conditions that restrict the natural behavior that they have a right to. The view that opposes the one I'm arguing for in the speech believes that zoos do more good than harm. Opponents say that zoos educate people and foster an appreciation of the animals that they are brought together to see. This togetherness moves people to protect these animals. They say zoos are a wholesome family tradition. They believe to see an animal in person is a much more memorable and personal experience than seeing an animal through a television screen. Sources say zoos save endangered species by bringing them into a safe environment that protects them from predators, poachers, and environmental change. Other zoos have breeding programs for species that might not be able to find mates otherwise in the wild. These institutions claim to provide a habitat in which the animals are not bored, are safe, have space to move, and are well cared for. Despite the positions mentioned before, the harms of animal captivity in zoos outweigh the few positives that may come out of these establishments. Animal captivity is harmful to the animals that are placed in zoos. First of all, animals have rights, therefore we do not have the right to breed, capture, or confine even endangered species. Being a member of an endangered species doesn't mean the animal has fewer rights, says one source. Overpopulation leads to animals being sold not only to other zoos, but to circuses, canned hunting facilities, and even for slaughter. Furthermore, many captive breeding programs do not release animals back into the wild. In fact, removing individuals from the wild will further endanger the wild population because the remaining individuals will be less genetically diverse and will have more difficulty finding mates. It's almost impossible to bring captive bred animals from the zoo back into the wild, since these animals have already been denied the resources and free will to learn survival skills. All breeding programs do are replace or reproduce cute baby animals for the income of the zoo, thus creating an overabundance of old animals in these zoos. Eventually, overpopulation leads animals being sent to warehouses, auctions, or roadside zoos. According to a 2004 report by the World Conservation Union, the world's biodiversity is declining at an unprecedented rate, primarily because of animal activities that cause pollution, climate change, and the destruction of animals' habitats. 7,000 animal species are in trouble now due to this exploitation. Lastly, animals in captivity suffer from severe stress, boredom, and confinement. Captive animals are deprived of everything that is natural and important to them, and as a result, they become bored and lonely and may even suffer from a condition called zoochosis. This disease may look like an animal rocking back and forth, swaying, or pacing. The public has started to notice these behaviors, so to counter this, the zoos give animals mood-altering drugs such as Prozac. Some animals are so taunted or unhappy that they risk their own lives to set themselves free. A gorilla named Jabari at the Dallas Zoo tried to escape the walls by jumping over the walls of his enclosure due to taunting and instigating from teenagers. Animals cannot possibly thrive in enclosures that do not resemble their natural habitat. Elephants walk up to 30 miles in one day, but the elephants in zoos do not get this kind of freedom. The near constant confinement because of the harsh weather has caused elephants to develop painful arthritis. For those who say, how will people get to experience animals if zoos did not exist? If people want to see wild animals in real life, they can observe wildlife in their wild or visit a sanctuary. A true sanctuary does not buy, sell, or breed animals, but takes in unwanted, exotic pets or injured wildlife. If zoos are teaching kids anything, it's that imprisoning animals for our own entertainment is acceptable. The argument that children will have more compassion for animals they can see live does not hold water. Not one of today's children has ever seen a dinosaur, yet kids today are crazy about them. People People say animals are safe and well taken care of in zoos. Animals sometimes escape their enclosures, endangering themselves as well as other people, in the case of Harambe. If he wasn't in the zoo to begin with, and the zoo did not exist, the entire situation would not have occurred. In addition, there have been incidents of zoo animals eating other animals. What about zoos that protect species from extinction? This isn't necessarily true. Wild animal parks and zoos almost always favor large and charismatic animals who draw large crowds of visitors, but they neglect less popular species that also need to be protected. Most animals in zoos are not endangered, and while confining animals to zoos keeps them alive, it does nothing to protect the wild populations in their habitats. In closing, I want to drive home the point that because we are God's children, we are called to love His creation and everything in it, including animals. Because of our love for animals, I do not go to zoos, and I encourage others to boycott them as well. By watching nature documentaries and visiting animals in their wild habitat, we can gain a better understanding of their behavior and life in their free, God-desired habitat. Warehousing animals for life is not the way to save them from extinction. Their salvation lies in protecting habitats, not in creating animal prisons. Their salvation, instead of patronizing zoos, we can help animals by supporting organizations that work to protect animals from exploitation and